Hi Schultz family, it's Mrs. Rodriguez or Miss Vidales or Miss V. I have a bunch of different names, but this is your art teacher. First of all, guys, I miss y'all. I miss having y'all in class. I hope everyone's staying safe through these tough times, but just know that we are so excited to have y'all back whenever we are able to. So I thought it'd be really fun to make some art videos since we can't physically be together in class, but these are just going to be of different art projects. A lot of stuff you already have at home for this: paper, pencil. If you do have crayons, markers, even paint, then that would be awesome. But for right now, if you only have paper and pencil, then these definitely are artworks that you can make. I would love to see any artworks that y'all end up making in the next couple of weeks. So whenever you're done with something, take a picture of it, put it on our Facebook page, or you could actually go onto our Schultz Art Google Classroom and you can post a picture of it there. I also do have some other art resources, more drawing assignments on our Google Classroom, so either of them will work, but I am excited to see what you guys come up with. Okay, so let's get started on making some art. All right, guys, so the first project that we're going to be doing are these really awesome origami bookmarks. There are a ton of different things that you can do with them. We're going to go over some kind of basic ways to do it, just to make sure you have the fold down. If you do have other supplies at home, then of course we're going to go over how to make it a little bit more creative. But just paper is all we really need. Origami is actually the art of folded paper. There's no tape on here. I didn't go and put anything, especially on this one. This is a very basic one where I didn't tape anything. Everything stays still by folding and making sure we're pressed on all the seams, which we'll go over that in a little bit. So just a little background about origami. Like I said, it did originate in Japan in about the 1st or 2nd century, which for our mathematicians out there, we are currently in the 21st century, and a century is 100 years old. So you can do the math there and figure out exactly how long it's been. And it definitely has been a really long time. So like I said, all we really need is a piece of paper. Now, this is origami paper. I do sell this in different stores. Usually it's colored on one side, white on the other side. It's a little bit thinner and it does come in a square. Almost all origami does start out with a square piece of paper. If you only have a white paper like this, notebook paper would even work, newspaper, even a napkin in this case would even work for this origami. But the main thing is that we need it to be a square. So if you do have a big piece of paper like this, I'm going to use this white paper so I can go back and I can color mine later on to make sure that I get a little bit creative with it. So instead of a rectangle, we're actually going to make this into 2 squares so I can get 2 of these origami bookmarks and have a bunch of them. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to fold it across like this, trying my best to get the corners to touch. Then I'm going to drag my finger and press down to make sure that everything is on there. Once I do that, then I'm going to go through and I'm going to just cut it in half so we can end up with 2. So we're going to put 1 and 2. So once we have our rectangle really piece of paper, like I said, this still isn't a square. So in order to make it into a square, I'm going to take this right corner over here and I'm going to fold it across. And then again, I'm going to try my best to get these corners to touch. I shouldn't see any extra paper on this side. Once I have it about there, I'm going to make sure I hold it. I'm going to press all this seam down. Okay, the main thing with origami, we want to make sure all the seams are pressed down. Okay, then I can take scissors. You can do this just by hand. Some people know how to do that. And we want to cut this piece off. Okay, but we want to hold on to this extra little piece because we're going to end up using it afterwards. So now I have my square, almost exactly the same size as my origami paper, which is amazing. So once you have your square in front of you, we're actually going to start out with it as a diamond. So you do need to turn it to be a diamond or rhombus shape. Okay, and we actually already did the first step, which was to fold it up, make sure your corners touch, and press on the seams, which, like I said, we did that, which is amazing. So now we're going to unfold it, and I'm going to do the same thing, but going sideways. So horizontally, I'm going to take it, and again, I'm going to try my best to touch the corners, and I'm going to drag my finger, and I'm going to make sure I press down on the seal really good. So once I have it like this, I'm actually going to leave it. I'm just going to turn it so where my triangle is facing up, kind of like an arrow. So once we do that, now I have technically two papers. I have a bottom triangle and a top triangle. I'm going to take this top triangle and I'm going to bring it down to right in the middle. I actually have a crease line that's right here. I want to follow that crease line because if I were to not pay attention and fold it across this way or that way, it wouldn't come out right. So we want to make sure that we go to the crease all the way and touch the very edge of the paper. So I'm going to press it down just like that. Okay, and that one is going to stay like that for right now. Now I'm going to take the side. I'm going to start with this right side over here, right in the corner of my triangle. And I'm going to make this corner my finger is touch the very middle where this finger is right here, right where the vertex is of this triangle. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it over. Try to make sure again that they touch. You can hold it down with this finger. And again, we're just going to press down on it. Okay, if you have a little gap like I do, it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to mess up your origami. So again, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to bring it into the middle. And then I'm going to press it down. So right now it kind of looks like an envelope, which is so cool. You could even make it into an envelope and put something inside if you wanted to stop there. But to finish our little origami bookmark, I'm actually going to open up the sides that I just did. And now I'm going to take this very bottom edge where my finger is moving. And I want to bring that all the way to the top now. So I'm going to fold this up. Okay, if it helps you, I actually already have the big crease in the middle. I can put my fingers down on this big crease. That can act like my stopping point so that I know I cannot cross that line. I'm going to stop right there. And again, I'm going to press down on it. Make sure everything's getting pressed. And we are going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to fold this up. Again, stopping right in the middle and making sure we press down. It kind of gives us an even smaller diamond for right now. Okay, we have one more step and that is it. Now we're going to take our corners, these two little flaps that we have, and we're just going to simply tuck them inside of our paper. So we have this little pocket, like I said, when we had the envelope, and we're just going to take it and we're going to tuck those in. And that is all we need to make our origami bookmark. So that is the basics of it. Very simple, but of course, we want to get a little bit more creative and we want to make it into something different. So I'm going to put this one aside. I'm going to do one a little bit quicker, but just in case you were getting a little confused on some parts, I want to go over it again. So I had already started this one. Again, we're folding it up, folding it sideways. Oops. Folding it sideways. Okay, then I'm going to leave it as a triangle. I'm going to bring the top part down. Again, making sure it stays in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my corners in. And I want to bring my corners in here. Again, making sure it kind of stays exactly in the middle. Again, guys, if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, if something's a little bit crooked, it is not going to mess up your origami. Okay, you are making it unique and creative for you. Okay, you are the artist here. You are making this awesome designs, however it is you are going to do it. Okay, so again, just gonna tuck these in and we are done with the second one. Now, for this one, okay, if you do have a pencil, if you have crayons, marker, even paint, you can go and you can decorate yours. So I'm gonna take some crayons that I have handy here, and I wanna make mine look like a pizza. So I'm just gonna make it look like kind of an upside down pizza, since this would be the pizza slice right here. So I wanna make this into my crust. So I'm gonna put a brown wavy line here. And then of course I can go in and color it in. Okay, once you have your pizza crust all done, now you can worry about the cheese. Now, some people might only like a cheese pizza, and that is perfectly fine. Cheese pizza is delicious, but if you are like me and you like some pepperoni or some mushrooms or anything else on your pizza, go ahead and add that stuff on. So I don't have a red, but that's okay. I'm going to use this orange color, and I'm going to put some little pepperonis on here and color those in. So I have a bunch of different pepperonis on here. Some big pepperonis because I love pepperoni. Okay, and this one is done. There we go. Now we have a little pepperoni pizza. So let's test it out. Make sure it works. Let's get a book. Let's go to a page and we can see, make sure it works. And it does work perfectly. I can make sure I fold it. You can't even see it once you close the book. That is awesome. Okay, so other than that, I want to make my other one into a little kitty for my kitty Chester that y'all saw. So for this one, we are going to need that extra paper that we did have at the beginning that we cut off for his ears. So my cat is orange. So for right now, I'm just going to take an orange and I'm going to color this whole thing orange. Okay, for right now, I'm just going to do the top part, but of course, you can go back and do the bottom part if you would like to later on. You can make these into 10,000 different things. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to put his eyes and his little whiskers and his nose. So I'm going to put his little nose right here in the middle. We're going to put some whiskers. We'll put his little eyes. Okay, my cat has actually some green eyes, so I'm going to put some green eyes right in the middle. Now, it looks like a cat, but like I said, we want to put some little ears. So I want to measure just to make sure that we have a right amount on here. But I'm going to take my white paper and I'm just going to kind of draw a little cat ear on there. Okay, then I can now just draw another one. So I'm going to draw another cat ear, and I can go ahead and color that in orange. Okay, since we are going to cut these out, if you were to get out of the lines a little bit, it's not that big of a deal. So now we're going to cut out our little cat ear. Okay, it's okay if you have a little bit of extra on the bottom because that's actually going to give us a good amount of space to glue it. So once we have our cat ears done, I can flip it over, take a glue stick, take a glue bottle, whatever you have on hand. Put a little bit of glue in the back for both sides of my little kitty ears. And I can go ahead and glue them on there. Now the good thing about glue is that you can move it around. See, like these are a little bit crooked. So if I wanted to, I can move it around just a little bit up until it finally dries. I want to make sure I press on it to make sure it stays there. So again, test this out. Make sure it works. These are so awesome and so fun. Let's see. Perfect. And the really cool thing, if you do put ears on them, you can see the little ears pop out of the book, which is super cute. Well, guys, I hope you had fun. I hope you made some really awesome origami bookmarks. I would love to see any bookmarks that y'all made. So take a picture of it, leave it in the comments so we can see what everybody is making, because these are really awesome. I hope y'all had fun.